Hi, this is Jerry King, and I am back with another segment of Four Pillars of Destiny. It's been a couple of weeks since I've put up a video, and today I want to talk about something we touched upon before in my previous videos, and I just wanted to carry on with more details, and that is related to some of the commanding pillars and also about relationships. So just trying to combine um, both ideas together where how the commanding pillars can affect relationships and which ones are the real commanding pillars, because there's also let's say controversies or disagreements in terms of which ones are the commanding pillars. So let's get right to it. We worked on these previously. So as we can see, the commanding pillars, there's all in Chinese, but I'm just gonna explain it in English. I'm just gonna pick out the key points here. So the key ones are, so obviously you got the Ren Chen, the water dragon, the Yang metal dog, um, the Yang metal dragon, so the Gang Chen, and then the Wu Xu, the Yang earth dog. So those are the four key ones. So you got one, two, three, four, the two dogs and the two dragons. Um, Obviously there are more, like some people might say, why isn't the water dog part of the commanding pillar, or why isn't the Yang Earth dragon part of the commanding pillar? Um, yeah, now the classics and all the other notes I've seen, they don't include those, but I still believe that they have some influence, like just because they're Yang, right? There's some influence in terms of whether they contain those contents or um, those types of qualities of what we see in the commanding pillar. So some of the points here. So when your Batsa chart has one of the commanding pillars, they say it's preferably that they are strong. Okay. So these are just some of the notes that I found. You can agree or disagree, but obviously this depends on the flow of the chart as well. So the Bazi, so let's say Gang Chen, Gang Xu, um, if there's a controlling element or a killings, that means that there's going to be problems with that chart. So if the day stem, day pillars, your Gang Chen or your Gang Xu, um, there's going to be when it says pull right here, it kind of means destruction or the chart falling apart. So if there's killings in the chart, obviously it's not favorable or ideal, but it really depends. Like I said, it's all about classifying the chart. I always believe classifying the chart is more important than these nitty-gritty details. These are probably like secondary compared to the flow of the chart. Okay. Point number three, having the commanding pillars in your life. Um, they say that decision making is crisp, okay, uh, very decisive, which is probably true. I've seen many commanding pillars where people are very decisive. Um, okay. Obviously, when you're decisive, decision making, the ability to choose things, or um, let's say trying to invest, for example, the decision is right away. It's like, I don't want to like fool around, I don't want to be wishy-washy. You want to make the decision right away. Okay. Obviously with these sort of commanding pillar, we know for a fact that marriage, it says right here, 婚姻, won't be smooth. It's very obvious. So very ambitious people as well. Okay. Very strong and very ambitious. So that's what some of these points indicate with a commanding pillar. So when you apply these to people in their relationship life, when someone becomes very, let's say, very decisive, once they made a decision, they don't want to change their mind. We can also call them stubborn. Um, Marriage life not smooth. Um, they're very ambitious. Obviously, when you add this all up, it leads to a complicated relationship life. Okay. Um, let's go for a few more points here. So you got your Gangshu, so your Yang Metal Dog and Day as your commanding pillar. Let's just quickly look through this. Very conservative, says Xiao Xin. Very um conservative. Oh, and interesting here. Um, they're very explosive, but um when you look at them, they look like they are very calm and they don't show their emotions. But then inside, it's actually very active and explosive, just like a volcano, a dormant volcano, like a volcano that wants to explode. Um, Here we got the Gangchang Day. Usually this represents, oh, it says for women, usually very beautiful. I believe that is so. I've seen quite a few Gangchan women before, and they look. It's all relative though, but according to classics, they say they look good and they are beautiful. So it really depends. And then the next part here, the Wushu, so your Yang Earth dog, um, very possessive. It says it's very possessive. These people can be very annoying. Um, Possessive meaning selfish, not wanting to share. Okay. Um, these qualities can change depending on what they have in their chart. Like obviously, we look at their 10 gods, um, and their flow and all that. So it really depends. Okay. I'm not saying that these are the only qualities and they're set in stone. So just because you're a Yang Earth dog doesn't mean that you're always selfish, uh, only looking out for yourself. And I'm not saying that you're like that. I'm just saying that the possibility of having these qualities do exist. But let's say if this person has a lot of output and wealth on the stem, it's also possible that these people might be very giving, like they might give things, they might not be selfish. So it depends. These are just one part. I'm talking about day pillar, one part of the whole. Okay. Yang water dragon, um, very brave, they'd say. I would probably rank that as someone that's very daring. Um, I've seen that before. One of my relatives, he has a Yang water dragon, and he's very like doesn't matter. Like he's not afraid of anything at all, right? So it depends. Like depends on what's in the 10 gods. Okay. Um, so what I want to look at now is so this topic about commanding pillar and relationships. So what does it mean when you have something a little bit different? Like what if it's a Yang Earth dragon, which I have right here? Is this considered a commanding pillar? To me, I've seen Yang Earth Dragon show qualities of um commanding pillar, like whatever I've listed ahead of this. But what we have here is a female chart, Yang Earth Dragon, someone that's very. So what we can see here, straight from the chart, we can look at, okay, this person is born in a month of horse, quite strong. Okay. So because the fire supports the earth, right? Now, in a year, this person has the yang metal monkey, and this is her output ability to express herself, being very intelligent, so on and so forth. The traditional stuff that you read in Ten Gods, right? Whatever she has is here. And then there's a bit of wealth over here. Not too concerned about, I don't care about this right now at the moment. What we have to look at is her relationship life indicators for marriage issues. So where do we find the marriage issues here? We can use some of the commanding pillars qualities and apply it to this and just sum it up in saying that this person could be possibly very selfish, very bossy, um, stubborn, um, very decisive in their decision making, so on and so forth. We can use all those qualities, but we can't really, when you're reading a chart, you can't really just use those definitions that have been outlined there. You have to look at other parts. So from a relationship standpoint, obviously for some of you, you know that using the controlling element, so you got the yin, wood, and the rabbit here. You also look at the spouse palace here. So no combinations of spouse palace, nothing much going on here. But now we have to look at, okay, this is a female. And I found this chart I found online, a few things I found very interesting. So to make a long story short, the controlling element is in the hour. So hour usually represents um the kids, right? Your the next generation, or yeah, basically your kids. So what happens is when you have your controlling elements in your children's palace, this person gave an analysis and said that there's a high possibility that the man sleeps with the kids in the same bedroom. And in reality, it is true. So you have to look at, um, you have to do more, I would say, more research to determine whether this is true, whether having the control element in the hour relates to the dad sleeping more with the kids. And then basically they sleep in separate bedrooms. Because the output also represents the kids for the female. Gotta remember this. The output represents the children for the female. And the male is represented, so the husband is represented by a controlling element. Very obvious. So we can see here the output element, the children, is further away from the day. So does that mean that basically the kids are in a separate bedroom, or the kids are further off? This we can see from the chart that the possibility is there. So this is something for you to think about as well, because the children are in the year, and the husband's in the children palace. So the possibility of them sleeping away from the mom is very true, in fact, based on the location of those specific elements. Now, what we want to see here is how's her relationship life in general. This is a person that obviously works a lot. How can you tell from why she works a lot? Well, also because of the output element, right? The output element, she wants to do something. She wants to be out there and expose herself to doing work. So when that happens, there's a possibility of the man cheating on her, right? This has the probability is very high. And then based on the example that I found online was from a Chinese master. He said that every time this female went into like a water year, like a rat, any rat year, there will be problems with her relationship life. And Earth as well. So obviously, whenever you run into Earth, you're running into competition. So these are the types of things to consider when you look into a relationship, when you look at whether there's competition. So I would say like 2018 was a Yang Earth dog year. The dog would clash with the dragon, right? Yang Earth being its competitor, obviously the temptation is there for the man to be with someone else. So having said all that, so there's a lot of points to take away from this. First off, going back to the commanding pillar, does this actually have qualities of what was stated earlier in the commanding pillars, the attributes? Yes, it is possible. So this one is for you to do more research. Okay. Now, this other one where I'm talking about the kids and the husband being the children palace, possibility of him sleeping away from the wife and being in a separate bedroom. There is also truth to that as well. So that is another point where you want to do more research. Third point is what happens when this lady runs into an earth year, an earth dog, especially, right? Also note the dog could also combine with a rabbit as well. So, and the horse, but there's also a clash going on. So this is something that I'm just throwing out there. So a lot of things for you to think about. I mean, what if there's a yang metal year, right? The yang metal can also combine with the yin wood. So that's all I have for today. I'm just throwing out points for you to think about. I will touch upon these sorts of matters in possibly the next video because I think there's a lot more that I can contribute in terms of adding to the specific points what we can take away from a chart like this. So yeah, hopefully you've learned something from this video. If you like the video, hit the like button and feel free to subscribe to my channel. Um, I'll be back soon with another video, hopefully sooner than later. Okay, so that's it for today, and I'll see you guys next time in the next video. All right.